Welcome, everyone. Today we are doing a deep dive into a spiritual text called Talking About Jesus. It really takes a hard look at the soul, the internal stuff, and that struggle we all have with dissatisfaction.
That's right. And for you listening, the core mission here really is that this text offers a kind of roadmap. It's aiming for what it terms unshakable joy.
Unshakable joy.
Yeah, and it argues you don't get there by changing your circumstances, but by tackling the root cause of why we feel restless and complain in the first place.
Interesting. Okay, so let's unpack that. We'll look at how this text identifies the problem, it calls it murmuring, and then dig into the solutions it proposes, which seem to be contentment and obedience.
Exactly. Two sides of the same coin, in a way.
So the text starts by saying the heart gets restless. Basically, when life doesn't go according to our plans, our expectations.
Right. We have this idea of how things should be.
And when reality doesn't match up,
Yeah.
boom, complaining starts, murmuring.
And here's the real kicker, the aha moment in the text. It says this murmuring isn't just, being unhappy.
It's more than a bad mood.
Much more. Fundamentally, it calls it a lack of faith in God's character. It's like deep down, complaining means we're saying we don't trust God, or worse, that we know better how things should run.
Wow, wait. That's a heavy claim. So feeling let down isn't just an emotion, it's like an accusation against God.
That's how the text frames it, yeah. It's distrust, essentially. And it points out this is an old human habit.
Uses an example, right? The Israelites.
Exactly, the Israelites in the wilderness. I mean, think about it. They're freed from slavery. They see the Red Sea split open. They're getting food literally falling from the sky.
Manna, yeah. Miracles everywhere.
Miracles everywhere. And yet they grumbled constantly. And their complaint wasn't just, oh, we don't like the food. It was deeper. They doubted God's ability to actually get them to the promised land safely.
So seeing wasn't believing, or at least not sustained believing.
Precisely. The sight didn't translate into ongoing faith when things got tough or uncertain.
Okay, that really helps illustrate the idea. So if the problem is this distrust hiding his disappointment, how does the text say we break that cycle? You mentioned two paths.
That's right. Contentment and submission, or obedience. They work together.
Okay, let's take contentment first. This ties into providence.
It does. The core idea is accepting that God's hand is in everything. All things, the text says, both the pleasant and the difficult.
All things, the good and the bad.
Exactly. And crucially, there's this assurance. The Lord never allows a burden, a hardship, without also giving the grace, the strength you need to actually bear it.
That's a big promise.
It is. And it echoes the Apostle Paul, right? Who said he learned to be content in whatever situation. That's the one. It's about trusting that nothing, absolutely nothing happens outside of God's notice or care. Not even a sparrow falling.
So contentment is about trusting the circumstances. What about submission and obedience? That sounds more active.
It is the active part. The idea here is that submitting to God's commands, choosing to obey even when it's hard or makes no sense to us, that act itself aligns you with God's will. And that alignment brings peace.
So it's not just gritting your teeth and obeying, it's finding peace through obedience.
Yes. Obedience isn't about reacting to bad circumstances. It's a proactive decision to follow the guide, regardless of the terrain.
I like the metaphor the text uses that God's word isn't like a chain.
Right, not a chain to bind you.
But a lamp.
A lamp to guide, like in the songs. The text suggests, we make ourselves miserable trying to find our own way in the dark with our tiny flashlights. Obedience is just turning on the big lamp provided by the one who actually made the path.
Okay, so pulling it all together, the message seems to be about a total internal shift. Quieting the complaints, the murmuring, and actively choosing gratitude instead.
Yes. And if you trace that thought to its conclusion, the text argues this whole process, this struggle and recalibration. It's ultimately about turning what looks like loss into something eternally valuable.
How so? It uses the cross as an example.
It does. The cross is presented as the ultimate example. I mean, think about it. The greatest seeming loss imaginable.
Why, the deck of God's...
He became the world's greatest gain. Yeah. Redemption, salvation, all of it.
So how does that apply to... us, when we're facing job loss or health problems or just daily stress?
Well, the text points towards Romans 8 asking that powerful question. If God didn't even withhold his own son, how will he not also, along with him, graciously give us all things? Meaning even the grace to endure the trials he allows or sends. So every struggle, every difficulty you face, the text frames it not as a random misfortune or a punishment,
but
as part of the plan. a mechanism designed for a greater good, something that's actually shaping you, preparing you for eternity. It really makes you think, doesn't it? The very things you might be desperately wishing away could be the most important parts of your journey.